Start streaming and
Yes,
we
it
are
says
live.
this meeting is being live streamed, so we are live. Joel, go ahead.
Hey everybody, this is Joel with IOD Nations. Sorry we're behind by a minute today, but we are going live right now as we speak. And Draco, you're going to share that link with me so I can see the chat, correct?
Yep, I have the link. I'm sending it in Zoom, so everyone can check that.
Okay.
Here it is. And I'm sending other link as well.
There we go.
Okay, so
Hey.
we have link on Zoom.
That's me.
What happened? There we go. Okay, let me get this up. Okay, now I'm not seeing people in the chat like I normally do. Do I need a specific, let me click on this. Maybe that's what I need. There we go. My bad, guys. Okay, here we go. We are up and running. We've got 6 people in here right now, so that's us, the leading group. Thanks for waiting. Now, there's the Substack. Okay. Does everybody's live feed look a little bit different than it normally does? Hey, Kathy, how are you? Welcome.
I'm fine.
Thanks for joining us. We're glad to have you here. Bear with us just a little bit as we are figuring a couple things out. I am not.
So Joel, everything looks as it's supposed to be on my end.
Let me share my screen with you. Can I do that?
Yeah, you can.
You need to let me do that.
Draco, can you allow Joel? And also, Rakesh bro was saying somebody needs to enable me.
Which thing I need to enable?
Okay, Joel, can you share your screen now? Yeah.
Yes, I can.
All right.
Okay, so I've got that and I've got everybody here. Okay, now I'm in the live chat. Now I have the feed that looks normal. There we go. Hey, Ann, how are you doing? Welcome.
Okay, you can stop sharing.
We're going to have, yeah, let me do that. We're going to have a good show today, folks. Now it went back to a different look, but how come I don't see Ann there? Why did that change? Oh, there we go. There we go. I see Dr. Jesnel. I see where I said hello to everyone, but I don't see Ann there, and I saw her on another screen.
Yeah, so Anne
What?
was on Substack.
Yeah, I'm in. Okay, there we go. Hey, Lynn, how are you?
Hey, Lynn.
All right. Welcome. Okay, everybody, we're gonna talk as people are coming in. Hey, Lynn, you should know we've gotten a couple of hundred emails of women who want to participate in the online women-led democracy movement. Glad to have you here again. Hey, V for Violet. We'll give you a little bit of input on who we are and what's going on here. Kathy, you've been with us before, right?
I listened to part of one of your talks. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. We'll have a good conversation with you and Deborah. We're going to let some people come in here and then we're going to roll in and we'll give the standard introduction of who we are and what we're working on. So we'll give that. I'll kind of run down things. So tell me what you did learn about us? You listened to part of a show. What did you hear and what brought you back?
Well, I'm sorry. I am also working. I'm a researcher, but I'm heading towards retirement. So that's what I was listening and working at the same time. But what I got out of it was you guys were trying to start an online democracy movement that would kind of go around some of our unresponsive politicians. That was what I heard, who've been bought. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I mean, it needs to be. I appreciate you as a white man are involved, but yes, we need to get women involved, and we need allies, male allies. Yes, that's my feeling overall. So
That's a good take,
Have
Kathy.
you
My name is Deborah, and I think that was great. You got it perfect. That's what we're trying to do. Since
yeah,
Congress
yeah,
has decided not to listen to us, and since Congress has decided that they're not representatives anymore of the people, we need to have direct
right.
contact. So we think that the online democracy movement will move us in that direction, especially women, because they are on the attack against us every day.
Yeah, yeah, it's really remarkable. I live in New Hampshire. I don't know where you guys are, but in New Hampshire, we have at the federal level Democratic leadership, but in the New Hampshire House, it is Republican. And in recent months, they're just being much more obvious about we don't have to listen to constituents. They're just saying it outright.
Right.
Yes, and that so it's really a problem. Anyway, I don't want to say too much here, but that's why I thought I would at least listen and see what I could do to help with.
That's perfect, because we
Hey.
want to start at the local level, move our way up to the state and the federal and national, global. But we know that we have to start local. So if we start with our state legislatures, that's the perfect way to begin. And they
Yeah,
are ignoring us. They have not come out once in this whole year in New York State. The only one that said anything is Mondami. I mean, that's it. Mondami's the only one who came out and actually talked to Trump, and not one state legislator. And that's where I used to serve, in the state legislature of Albany back in the 90s. I would never have tolerated this. But anyway, that's where we are. And I'm so glad to see you, Kathy. It's great to meet you. Sorry, Joel, back to you.
No, this is what we're looking for. So Deborah, read Violet's comment right there. Read it out loud. And
I don't see Violet's comment.
okay. She said, I've been trying to get women to join, but they keep saying they're suspicious because the lives they've watched have been mostly men, because Joel's been running his big mouth and they're suspicious of me.
Oh my
Deborah,
gosh.
should women be suspicious of me?
I think women should always be suspicious of men's objectives. Absolutely. It's just my perspective. Having served in Albany.
Jeez,
And,
thanks for your
I'm sorry,
plug.
but
I
not
appreciate
you.
all the
Joel,
love.
No, Joel, you're the feminist male. You're like my husband. You have the feminist tendencies that we need and we want. So we want males who understand that women, we have a voice and we are smart enough to represent ourselves and make our own decisions. So that's what we're trying to get the government to understand, because the
All right, hang on a
politicians.
second. I'm going to go. The boss wants me to get a chair and bring it over here, and I'll get out the picture. She'll be here in just a moment.
Oh, look at that. We got so for you guys who are watching who don't know, Dr. Jesnel's been with us, and his wife is there in the background, and she's hearing the talk about how men are too visible, and she wants a chair, and she's pulling up a chair because look at all of these names over here. Every damn name there is a woman, except for Captain Dave. Sorry about that, and unless we missed something or whatever. But I want to introduce everybody here really quick. This is IOD Nations, International Online Democratic Nations.org. We are here to unite citizens of the world online democratically. And women have been the ones who have been engaging with us. And I've been driving this movement. I've been working on this for 10 years, and I was too much of a coward to put my face on it. And I finally did. And then this amazing woman came along, okay? And you're looking at her on the screen. Her name is Deborah Mazzarelli. She's a 3-time New York State Assemblywoman. And when I started talking to her and she started talking to me and asking me questions about online citizen-led democracy, she felt she really wanted to get involved. And when I asked her if she was sure, her comment to me was, I've been looking for something to sink my teeth into. And so you're going to see a very rapid evolution here in the women-led part of this, where I'm going to be stepping back. Deborah is going to be the one taking this, and she needs your help. Okay. Hell, it took us an hour this morning to figure out how to send out a group email and get it constructed the way we need to. Okay. But
Yeah.
we don't stop.
I got hurt.
We are not
That's why I
going to
got hurt.
quit.
Hello.
Okay. So, Deborah, we've got quite a few women here. Introduce yourself a little bit more and tell them what we're going to accomplish today.
Okay. I spent all last night, well, first, all right, I'll introduce myself. My name is Deborah Mazzarelli, like the cheese, mozzarella, Mazzarelli. I was an assemblywoman for 6 years. I've never lost an election. I only win, and we are all winners. Women are the ones who got me elected, and I can't thank everybody enough for responding in the past week. We've grown tremendously. I mean, there were hundreds of responses to the shows and the emails that we've sent out. And I'm trying so hard to respond in a personal way because it's so important for us to have that personal connection, the unity, community, sense of community, and sisterhood for each other. So as I'm trying to do that, I realize I can't. I need your help. It's a big job. So after serving in the assembly, I took a break from politics, but I didn't leave politics. I was a Republican. I switched midterm, became a Democrat because I recognized the Republicans. They changed their platform, party platform nationwide to allow.
What year was that, Deborah?
1996. They changed the platform, and they were demanding that anyone that ran on the Republican line had to be right to life. Now, we're not going to get into issues here because this is not Republican Democrat. This is for women. We don't care what your beliefs are. We just want a sisterhood of women. But I switched parties because I said, women are smart enough to decide for themselves. And if you're saying you're not going to let anyone run unless they take the right to life line, you're not my party. So I switched and became a Democrat. I've been a Democrat, and then I realized there's a little bit of collusion there, a little bit of complicity between the two parties, and I'm independent. So I don't swing either way. I try to stay in the center. My most important motive in joining Substack, which is how I found IOD Nations, I've been working on increasing democracy and trying to restore what our country used to have before the election of 2016. That was a startling startling event in our history. I didn't see it going anywhere but downhill at that point. So I've been researching and trying very hard to unite women since the election of 2016. And this gave me the vehicle to do it. I had a mentoring program. It was free. I never charged people. It was coaching. I tried to mentor young women to get them involved in politics because everyone thinks it's such a dirty business, but life is dirty. Everything is political, and I need young women, older women, every woman to understand that if we don't stand together, we're never going to have the rights and the equality that we should have. So, what was the question anyway?
Well, let me tell everybody who's here today. We're going to have a workout group after this live feed, and it's going to be focused on our email campaigns, and Deborah is going to be leading that. Just in the last week or two, we've gotten hundreds of emails from women who want to participate in this online women's-led democracy movement. But it's not just for women. It's going to be for men. And Deborah and I are going to talk for a few minutes, and we're going to kind of go through a Q&A for some of the people who may not be familiar with it. Okay, Violet. Violet asks, what's the vision for the sorts of things that could be done? Hey, Violet, tell us an issue that is important to you. What is something, a little bit more specific, a little bit more that you would like to see a focus on? And we're going to go in and talk about how women being united online and these online democracies can impact that, and try and abortion rights. Okay. So Deborah just talked to that. That's partly how she switched parties. We are here for action. I'm talking about this issue, and I asked you because you asked that question, but we're here to unite and to make democracy offensive and to put them on the defensive. So I'm going to take your abortion rights comment and make it a little bit broader than that, because I really think that comes down to women's rights and women's freedoms, because they're using the abortion rights, they're tying that into religion to affect women and to keep them as males in control. So what I imagine is this. Let's say the problem that we've got is that there is this control over the government where they've violated the constitutional ruling, for instance, on Roe v. Wade. If you study that, what you learn is that all of the rulings, all of the reasons why the original Roe v. Wade ruling was made, and why that was ruled the way that it was, there were a number of very specific legal and civil rights that blocking abortion was imposing upon women. And Roe v. Wade determined that you couldn't impose those things upon women because it wasn't allowing for equal rights with men. It was placing women in a subclass. And that was where the Roe v. Wade came from. The recent Supreme Court didn't even address one of those reasons. So all of the reasons that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Roe v. Wade, they didn't even address it when they changed it. What women uniting online can do is you can target specific politicians, okay? Now, if Deborah writes an email to a particular politician or the politicians in a particular state, that's not going to get much action. Okay. If Deborah and 100 women write an email to the politicians of that state, let's say we take Tennessee, who is imposing the voting rights issue where women would be required, or I guess it's the state voting that would require women to have 3 IDs. What happens is if 100 women write that email, they might actually look at it and read it and pay attention. Okay. But I want you to imagine a world where Deborah has 100,000 or 500,000 or 1 million, or maybe it's not Deborah. So it's this new bold young woman who has decided she wants to step up and lead this online democratic women's nation, right? And
Now, what,
what
you're
they
firing
do,
me already? I just started and you're firing me already?
Deborah,
Oh,
have
help
you
yourself.
tried to work with you in technology?
Oh,
It's
God, no.
painful.
It is painful. You know, I just want to,
But
I'm going to bring it to
go
a
ahead,
different, instead of abortion,
do it.
women's health
Yeah.
care. Women's health care is how I like to view it. I don't want to talk about abortion because it's the men's way of separating us. It was a perfect way for them to inject themselves into the womanhood and split us apart. So I don't want to talk about abortion. I'm going to talk about women's health care. If men want to talk about abortion, then I want to talk about vasectomies and Vitala, or what is that stuff called? What is the blue pill? The little blue pill. I think if they're going to say that we can't have abortions and they can't have, what is it called? You know, come on, Joel. What
A
is that blue pill
vasectomy
called?
or
Viagra. It's Viagra.
Viagra. Thank you
okay.
very much, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you. My husband doesn't need
Yes.
it, so of course, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, it's women's health care. That's the issue. If we leave it at women's health care and we direct it in such a fashion that we say, you know, any man that rapes a woman, well, then we should require castration of the men who are violating women's rights. If you're going to talk about women's rights as far as their body and their health care, then you leave it to us to decide. We're smart enough to make our own decisions. So that's the way I like to look at it. I don't want to talk about the issue of abortion. It's too personal, it's too difficult, and it's a tough choice for any woman in this world or globally. So I'm going to bring it back to the issue that we've already dealt with, which is the surviving victims of the Epstein case. We already sent out emails to all the lawyers. We organized, and this was the beginning of the movement, trying to get justice for the victims, the survivors. And that was the first thing that initiated this entire movement. And we got some good support on that, but we didn't. I got an email last night where someone said, "What are you trying to do? You know, you're going to hurt the survivors by doing that, by flooding the emails, you know, the zones of these lawyers. They're going to get mad." Well, we don't have a Congress that's listening to us. They're breaking the law. They have not put all the Epstein files out. The women are still waiting for justice. So that was my goal. Let's get some activity here. Put the pressure on the lawyers. They're getting paid to represent these women. And there should be more activity from us supporting them, and let everyone see the hundreds of emails from women saying, release the Epstein files. Let them see, you know, it's not just a bunch of people saying we don't care. These people have to start listening. The congressmen are supposed to be following the law. They're supposed to be doing what constituents want, and they're not. So it's our job as
So let me
women
ask you a question,
to do
Deborah.
that. Yes.
What can, how can women use their collaboration, their unity, and these email campaigns to impose their will, right? How, you know, what we say here, thank you for your is Julia, email to survivors. We need to talk about that, Julia. And to any women who are here asking why men are here, I'm My name's Joel Coleman. I founded iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations.org, with the idea that all pro-democracy citizens need to unite online. We need to take control over the internet completely. We do not access the internet. We are the internet. We grant them access to us. The reason you see a man here is because I started this and I've been trying to get this to move. And the only group who's really engaged with me is women. And so about 4 weeks ago or whatever, I met Deborah Mazzarelli, and she stepped in and agreed to take on this women's part of this movement. And so you're watching us transition through that. And we men, you see Rakesh and Kurt, which is Ashfaq, and back there on Iod Nations is Draco. They're working with me. I hired them. They're from Bangladesh. They're the ones who are making all of this happen because it's just us. Okay. Now we've got a lot of people women who have said they want to be a part of this, but we're still ramping this up and we're trying to get it to the point where we get enough women where you start taking those actions online. You start imposing your will. And Deborah and I are going to talk about that in a few minutes. We're going to talk about it from a micro, a midi, and a macro standpoint. How can women who are united online seize power and influence? And when they have that, how do they exercise it? And we're not just going to talk about it. We're beginning it with email campaigns. And that's what Deborah is asking for. She's asking for you to, she's got enough, or she's got these large numbers of women who are coming in and saying they want to be a part of this, right? But being a part of it means we got to start sending the damn emails, and we've got to start bringing a lot more people in here. So one of the guys is going to post the email address that you can send to Deborah directly if you want to be a part of this movement. Okay. You're talking to her. We're there with her. We're a united team, but we are all working to put Deborah and women on the front of this. And I'm going to switch over and really be talking about the macro issue of online citizen-led democracy. So it's not a bunch of guys trying to get in here and step in women's business. We're trying to get you to step up and take it from us. I don't want to be the guy here talking to women. And we're going to show you specific tactics and strategies. So one of them that we're proposing is Online Suffragette Saturday. So I'm going to be at the No Kings rally in San Luis Obispo, California tomorrow. And I'm going to be carrying a sign and playing a recording of Deborah and I speaking. And I'm going to be asking women to join with Deborah on this Women's Nation by emailing her. And I'm doing that to bring her more women to work with her so you guys can unite online and make this happen. That's why you see these men here. We're trying to get you guys to take this over and push us aside, but we're not there yet. We need more interaction.
Yeah,
We're
I
going
need
to,
more help. I really
downtown
do need
Dayton
more
and
help.
Troy tomorrow. We're going
What's
to
that,
Dayton.
Doctor?
We're going to Dayton and Troy tomorrow, Ohio. Dayton,
Okay.
Ohio, and Troy talk.
Okay, so Dr. Jesnel's been with us for quite a while. What he's offering his help behind the scenes. He's got some technology expertise that we don't have. He heard about uniting online. He's all for citizen-led democracy. His wife is there. She's supporting this movement. And so we're going to show you how to take action. So
She's going to Dayton and I'm going to Troy. So we're going to be in 2 different places tomorrow.
okay, we're going to share with you the recording of Deborah and I talking. And if you want to invite people and women to email Deborah, we can start building more and more women who are a part of this movement. So Mary Elizabeth wants to learn about your ideas, Deborah.
Okay.
Tell her a little bit about your ideas.
Well, my first idea is to focus on exactly what I was talking about before, the survivors. I think that there has to be a focused effort on our part. I don't want to be spread too thin. So I'm concentrating on contacting the lawyers of all the survivors and begging every woman as sisters to these women. And also because I know that I don't know of any woman who has not encountered sexual harassment, sexual abuse, physical abuse. We've all gone through it at some point in our life. Discrimination, we've all had it. So I think that it's important for every single one of us to send an email, at least one, pick it off the list from the mailing. I'm going to post it again on my Substack, the Substack for empowering the survivors of Epstein and Trump and the other oligarchs that are trying to destroy America. I think that we need to actually partake in that. That's the issue that right now I'd like to concentrate on. Down the road, as we organize, and it's going to have to be geographically, I don't know where all of you live, but we're going to have to start locally with you taking on some responsibility for your community, trying to get women from your community to join you, and then join me, and then me join the nation. But it's got to start local at the community level. It's the same thing as when you attempt to support your local businesses instead of your large conglomerates like, CVS, Target. Go to your little local stores so that we can grow our community and each other. And that's the focus for me, is the survivors right now. Katie Johnson was a major issue with me since 2016. She was the 13-year-old girl that was raped by Donald Trump. There's a civil court case that's on file. I'm not making anything up. I'm not pretending it never happened, because it did happen. It's recorded in court transcript, civil court transcript from 1994. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein raped this young woman on multiple occasions. She filed suit. She filed again in 2016. The FBI had reports from her, Maria Farmer. The list goes on and on. Jill Harth. There are hundreds of women who filed reports with the FBI, and they were buried, covered up. Alex Acosta covered the entire affair up. He met with Jeffrey Epstein and wrote a non-prosecutorial agreement protecting all of the conspirators and co-conspirators. So all of the people who were raping these young children, they're hidden in an NPA that the state attorney general and the federal attorney general covered up from the public. Everyone should have known about that before Donald Trump got put on the ballot in 2016. Big cover-up. I don't like cover-ups in government. We have a responsibility as women to look out for each other. Katie Johnson is still in hiding because she's been threatened, intimidated. Her life was threatened. A judge had to issue an order of protection for her. It was ordered that Donald Trump stay away from her, not call her. The same thing with Jeffrey Epstein. We need to know that. If you knew that in 2016, perhaps you wouldn't have voted for him. I couldn't. I knew about it, and I said, no, I will not vote for a rapist. I don't want that for my president. So women, we have to be alert and aware as to what's going on. And then we have to actually demand that they do something. So that's my focus right now. You asked what issues we could address. And that's my focus.
Okay. So I'm going to cut in, Deborah, and I'm going to bring us back to my focus here in tactics and strategies to affect change. Okay. How can women uniting online use that collaboration tactically and strategically to affect change? Okay. So for instance, the the we want to do, so we have to understand who we're working with. We have to understand the law. So I quote Sun Tzu, who says the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Opportunities seized multiply. Okay. So if women unite online, the opportunities that you're going to get are going to multiply. And we have to find ways that you can subdue the enemy without violence. Okay. But that doesn't mean without aggression. It doesn't mean without being offensive at times. This is where you actually need to get involved and you actually need to participate. So, connecting with the Women's March. So, I'm addressing this because Julia just wrote it. Julia, we are trying, one of the things we're going to do after this is we're going to do an email campaign to multiple 5051 and indivisible emails. And we're going to ask them, like I've been asking them since the last No Kings March, to try and to make a public statement at the protests. I am sick and tired of going to protests without accomplishing anything. Deborah has had many women who have talked to her and they've just said, I'm not going. Nothing ever gets accomplished. And I met a woman who is the wife of the president of the local Democratic Party. And she says, I don't go to the protests anymore. Nothing ever happens. And when she found out about this online movement and the idea of joining with women across the nation to get to where you have a big enough collaboration that you can make a difference, she said, I want to be involved in that. I want to be a part of that. And so we here in these live chats, we're not here to just talk about the issues. So there's two ways you can email us or you can get in contact. You can leave an email in here, or you can look at, we'll keep posting it over and over and over in here. It'll say Deborah@iodnations.org. So I'm gonna bring Deborah back in just a moment. We just found out the extent of this online democratic model in a way it's currently being used in the world right now as we speak today. In Taiwan, in 2014, they had a rebellion of young people. They had a 9% approval rating of their government. And those young people had a violent rebellion and they reached an agreement with the government. And the agreement was they would integrate an online platform so that the citizens could post their issues, right? And if an issue got 5,000 votes, the government has to deal with it. Okay. And they've been doing that for 10 years. In 10 years, or a little over 10 years now, they've gone from a 9% approval rating of their government to a 70% approval rating of their government. Okay. Now, women can start leading that movement. And you know, Deborah and a lot of other people are going to speak to you very wisely about how that can begin to be integrated locally. But what what I'm talking about is the big macro issue. Violet, we may have been doing that. We're going to bring it back. If you work with Deborah, You guys are going to be responsible for establishing an online democratic women's nation. And you're going to post ideas for what's important to you. And if that importance is working with the Epstein victims and women's rights, you're going to come up with tactics, you're going to put them up, you're going to vote on them, and you're going to impose that. You're going to use your online collaboration and make it happen. At the No Kings March, Mary, if you give us an email or if you email Deborah, here's what we will give you. We will give you an audio recording that you can play. And hey, Draco, can you pull that up for us here? Can you show that recording? We'll show you exactly what the audio says. And you can use that. Men, I'm the founder of IOD Nations. This is not just a women's movement, but you women are the ones that can make this happen for yourselves. Anyone can. So yes, men can join it. And I really want Deborah to take this so that I can go start focusing on that. Pamela, you can send emails. You can be a part of our email campaign. Put your email address down below or email Deborah. The address will pop up again and again here, and you can be a part of it. Okay, there are ways you can participate.
Let me just interrupt for
Go
1
ahead.
minute. Okay. Because I'm looking for activity, and I wanted to coordinate with tomorrow. I think the timing is perfect. If you would go to my Substack and read the Empowering the Survivors article, in that article are all the email links to all the attorneys for the survivors and groups that should be receiving emails from women in support of the survivors and the release of the Epstein-Trump files. So that's where you can start your activity. If you can't make it to the protest, do that. I mean, I'm not looking for you to spend 3 hours, or everybody's working so hard just to survive. We're not looking for you to spend 20 hours a week on this. A few minutes each day, sending an email to each of the lawyers, one a day if you have to, but they need to get from us the support they need. I don't care if we're flooding their emails. I think we should flood their emails. I mean, Donald Trump came out and said, flood the emails when he lost the election. Flood everybody's email. So I think we should flood the emails. It's our right. It's our determination as women to secure the justice for these women that they deserve. So I'm asking each
Let me
and
ask
every
you a
one of
question, Deborah.
Yes. Oh, wait, in
What?
that email,
Go ahead.
you actually, it's written for you. You don't even have to write anything. You just paste and copy. So you don't have to write your own letter or anything else. Just paste and copy from that particular article and email it. No stamps required. Email it right to the lawyers. Okay, I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Nothing to be sorry for. This is our thing, but this is really your thing. But here's my point. What do you think would be happening right now in this live chat if we had 2 or 3 of the survivors of Epstein who were in this discussion with us, and they were the ones asking for women to unite online democratically? If we had a few of those survivors asking women to join with them and to form this women's movement, how
Right.
much more powerful do you think that would be?
Honestly, I don't think it matters. We've seen them on TV. They are on MS Now all the time. I think the main objective is for women to actually act, not listen anymore, because we believe them. We heard them. We know what is going on. The real important thing is action. To me, that's more important than the public relations or and we've all experienced it, Joel. I mean, I don't know any woman who has not been raped or sexually assaulted. I really don't. When the Me Too movement came out, I was shocked that there weren't more people coming forward, but each of the survivors what they go through, I wouldn't want to put them through it again. It's so frustrating after all the years that they've been dealing with this trauma to suddenly have to come out again. No, I don't want to do that to them. I think
Well,
it's clear
I'm saying
what we
if they
need to do.
wanted to, right?
But
If
I'm saying we don't need to. We need to move forward with the
okay,
email. That to me is the most, I think action is, if we don't get our asses in gear and start sticking up for one another, we're going to lose every friggin' right that we have. They're trying to take away our right to vote right now, which no one believed me when I said 6 months ago, that'll be the next step. They're trying to take away our rights economically. Don't be surprised if you find yourself in a position where you can't apply for credit again without your husband's signature. The things that they're doing are outrageous. So let's start where we can make a difference with the
I get,
Epstein file.
yep. I guess the point I was trying to make was this: is when I created that article about emailing the victims, the reason I was creating it was I believed that there would be a lot of women who would want to reach out to those victims and let them know they were supported. But what I was really going for in that email was the idea that perhaps a couple of those survivors would say, "Oh my gosh, these women are uniting online. I'm one of the survivors who would like to be a part of that." In other words, I think that by letting them know that all of these women are currently uniting online, there might be a couple of them who would say, I want to be a part of that movement. And I believe that if they were in here
You're
participating
right.
in this
You
movement,
are right. Yes.
we would
Yes.
we would be having a whole lot more women joining it just because they have that visibility. And so the point I was trying to make is, if we get, the first step is if we get 20 women from this meeting to send emails to those survivors, and that means that one or two survivors come in and say, I want to be a part of this, right? Then that has the potential to explode the visibility of this movement, right? And if you explode the visibility of the movement, and all of a sudden, the next time a group of women send emails, it's not 20, but it's 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 100,000. Now the whole dynamics of these email campaigns are changed, right? When you send a 1,000 or 10,000 emails, Mary, I'm sorry, but I have some things to say also. So I'm trying to work on this with what I've been working for, and Deborah and I are doing it together quite well. So please give us both a chance to talk, okay? Um, the the idea was that we can more quickly build up this women's group, and you guys can take that, and when you have these large numbers, you become so much more powerful. That's kind of where I was going with that,
Right.
Deborah.
Right. And I'm going in that direction as well, Joel. I don't see this as a short-term project. We're going to deal with a lot of issues because there's so many that we're being discriminated against for. But this is the main issue right now. So if we can make effect change with the Epstein files and get someone to actually release them, that's a first step. Then we can move on to another issue like choice, women's health care. So for me, I'm
Hey,
looking
Deborah,
at.
I can get my hands on a lot of them. I can get my hands on them. A lot of them.
Okay, good. I'm looking for the next couple of weeks at least of
All right,
emails being
I'll
sent.
see what I can get. I'll let you know.
Okay, great. Yeah, weeks and weeks of emails from women all over the country. And a lot of times, congressmen, when you contact them directly, they say, oh, you're not in my district. I'm going to send your call on to Assemblyman Garbarino or Congressman Garbarino. One of the things politicians do, because I was never a politician, let me clear that up. I was a citizen legislator. I took offense when people called me a politician. I represented my constituents, all of them. And if I had people call me that weren't in my district, we helped them. If it was an issue that was a federal issue and I was a state legislator, we helped them. We would call the federal legislator, the congressman, the senator, if it was a passport issue. We would actually do the work for the constituents. I'm not seeing that today. I don't see anybody doing anything. I don't see any cooperation from our elected officials. They need to step up to the plate and start working. I'm pissed that they're going on vacation today. I am so pissed off. I cannot believe that we have a bunch of people sitting up there collecting paychecks who've been on vacation all year. Have you seen them do anything of substantial interest to you except take away your rights? I haven't. So I want these emails to go out. Don't send them to me. Let me first make that clear. These emails need to go to the lawyers of the survivors, who can then take all of our emails, present them to Congress, not to individual congressmen, but the entire Congress. I mean, there was that movie, Mr. Smith Goes to
What an
Washington.
amazing idea.
I mean, I think it was Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, where he dumped out mail on the floor that he had gotten, letters. Well, now it's emails. That's what we're doing. We're doing the same exact thing. Or when there was the court case with that Santa story, I don't know, Miracle on 34th Street. When they had somebody come into the courtroom with a bag of letters for Santa to prove that he must be real, because look at all the mail he gets. That's what we're doing with these emails. These emails have to go to politicians. If you want to make a difference in the world, they have to get to the politicians. The only problem is with the Epstein files, we've already seen they don't care. They're not responding. So we're going to bombard the lawyers. I don't want to bombard the victims. They've been through enough. But the lawyers, they're getting paid big money. They are supposed to be representing these women, and they were hired to get them justice. So Bradley Edwards and everybody else, hit them up with emails. Tell them we want the files released, and send that email. You don't have to type anything. You don't have to do anything except send it. So that's the perfect and the easiest way, to do it.
And so we have a template for an email that can be sent to them, so you can copy and paste it. We have the email addresses of the attorneys for these victims. So is there anyone in this group, in this live chat right now, who wants to be a part of that email campaign to the attorneys of the survivors of Epstein? This is what we do, okay? We are going to take action.
Okay,
and yep.
So we have a new guest called Sue Richardson. Welcome. And I would like to hear from Kathy. She's been sitting here for quite some time. So what do you think, Kathy?
This is interesting. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. I just also I'm working right now, but on the side. But I guess I like this idea, your idea of trying to focus on the lawyers. There's just a whole lot more things because I also wonder about, how does this intersect with groups like the National Organization of Women, things like that?
Right.
You don't have to get into that, but that's like another whole thing. And that's a question that people ask. Yeah. But I'm also interested I'm interested in hearing more eventually about, like when Joel was talking about what they did in Taiwan. That would be great if we could do something like that here. But
right.
Yeah.
Well, then we are. That's what this is. Okay. That's called the Sunflower Project. We can call this the Epstein Project or the Trump Project. I'd like to call it the Democracy Project, because I'm just so upset about them not having justice. So to me,
yes,
that's the main purpose right now.
The main
And then,
thing
you
I
know,
am worried
everybody, I think when you brought up the groups, that's
Yeah.
great. Everybody, I used to belong to NOW, Planned Parenthood, every
long
organization
time
out there
ago.
that was pro-choice. So if you can
Right.
bring a letter or a copy of that letter that is in the Substack to the group, that expands our email propensity. You know, we get more people involved in that way. So I think that's a really important part of this. Every organization that you belong to, it could be a church group. I mean, everyone. Is there anyone out there who doesn't believe these people deserve justice? These women need justice. So no one is going to disagree. It's not there's no issue here from men or anyone. It's an issue that we can all agree upon, and Congress is not doing their job. So get the things to the lawyers to make them do their job. I'm sorry, if somebody's on the screen.
No,
Yes. Kathy, I'm sorry.
somebody
Go
else,
ahead.
she's talking. No, that's fine.
Well,
I
saw
thought
your
somebody
face.
else popped up. Yeah.
Sue, did you want to, Sue, can you kick in? Do you have anything to say?
Well, I just came onto the group. I was just interested. Is this, I'm new to this group here. Do you have like a website where I can find out where I can send emails or how I do that?
Yes,
So
you can come. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
So we have a couple of ways. You can, we're throwing Deborah's email in here repeatedly. It's, and so it'll be there again. You can email Deborah to participate. That's one way. Another way is we'll also post a link to our website here. It's iodnations.org. That is what I established to begin with, the overall movement of online citizen-led democracy. It's based upon the premise, if a business no longer requires brick and mortar, then a nation no longer requires land and borders. So the way I see this, I see a future where we have the online democratic women's nation, the online democratic LGBTQ nation, the online democratic art nation, the online democratic veterans nation. And then we can have the online democratic US nation. We need the citizens of the United States. We are on the verge of losing our democracy. Okay. We're here talking about women, and this is primarily about women in this chat, and Deborah has stepped up for that. But don't lose sight of what the ultimate purpose of this is.
Right.
We need the pro-democracy citizens of the whole world to unite online. The freedom and democracy has been decreasing for 30 years worldwide, and that's the same 30 years that the internet was created. And we've lost our ability to influence our local and regional and state and federal government. Buckminster Fuller said this. He said, "Don't fight forces, use them. You never change things from within. If you want to change something, build a new model that makes the previous model obsolete. We are intended to be architects of our future and not the victims. Dare to be naive." And so what we're saying is we can form a whole network of online democratic nations. And with that, you can actually put democracy back into being the dominant force in the world. And when you do that, if you have all of these women united online as a part of this online women's nation, women are 50% of the population of the world. You women now become one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful democracy in history, not just online democracy. There's ways you can impose yourself democratically by being united online, and you can affect these governments that are not working for you, and you can get the Epstein files because you become a world power, and you can end wars and you can prevent wars, but you have to organize. Women have to be united. Hey, Jenny, we will look into the website. We've been having issues with it. So Ashfaq will take a look at that and we will make sure that people can get into the website. So I apologize for that. So
Hi, Jenny.
everybody who's here, you're here as a part of the women's movement, but it's a part of a much bigger movement. This can you imagine what the citizens of Denmark and Greenland and Canada could have done if they were united online? Okay? When these threats were made against their country, those citizens could unite online and they could impose things upon the United States to prevent what is happening. And this is the vision. It's for big, powerful, influential online democracies. Sue, does that?
One of the things that I keep thinking about is if we had been more organized, we could have possibly affected whether we went to war with Iran. The women of
Guarantee
the
you can.
world, the women online democracy, if we had been organized prior to, I don't know, June, if we had been organized, we could have sent emails directly to congressmen and said, we don't want war, or to the president, not that he would have listened, but we could have been a force to prevent war and keep peace. There are so many things. It's not just women's issues, but women make a difference, period. It doesn't matter what the issue is. We are the majority. We are not just 50%. We are a larger majority than 50%. And we should have more people covering our asses, sitting in the seats in Congress, not people like Susan Collins, who've been up there for 36 years. We need people with fresh ideas. We need youth. I swear I'd run again if I wasn't 70. And if I didn't have cancer, I would be on that road, walking every street, knocking on doors, screaming and yelling that it's time. Because the year of 1994, when I ran, they called that the year of the woman. And we had so many women candidates, so many women candidates. A lot didn't win. I worked really hard, so I won, but we need it again. Women have to have the year of the woman. Tomorrow is a women's suffragette movement. Tomorrow, Women's History Month. I think every month should be Women's History Month. We have to really, I don't want to start crying. I have 3 daughters. I have 3 granddaughters. I want the world to be a better place for them. I never imagined that they'd have to go through what they're going to have to go through now. I never imagined myself having to march again. I did all my marching in the 60s and 70s. I didn't think I'd have to do it again. But then, having served in the assembly, I saw exactly what was happening to women. We were being, it began in the 90s easily, probably before, well, I know it was before, that's why I ran. The discrimination's got to stop. But we can affect change in every aspect of everyone's life. It's not just the Epstein files. We could have prevented this war. If we had been organized, there's so many things we could have prevented Trump from ever getting elected, because we could have demanded that all the truth about Trump should have been exposed, not hidden, not covered up by the media, not paid off by Michael Cohen and other people. There should not be a way to catch and kill stories that the public is not informed. We need to be informed. And if they're not going to release the information, we have to make sure we go to independent media like Substack and get our information from there. We can't rely on mainstream media. And Fox News is not a news outlet. I just want to mention that. It's an entertainment station.
Yeah.
So ladies of the world should know. When you want, my mother-in-law is 99 years old and watches Fox News, and my sister-in-law and I, we don't say anything, but we want to say, you're not watching the news right now. You're watching an entertainment station. So it should be share with everyone, share the real truth and information. not the propaganda, because we are headed towards state-run media where Trump and the oligarchs own it all. And we're only going to get the messaging that Trump wants. So we have to help each other get the truth. That's one
And
of the
if you-
reasons I want to do this.
If you dominate the internet, okay, if women dominate the internet, you dominate your news sources. Okay. You turn your news sources into pro-democracy news sources. And all you do is you set filters. Before any news source can access you on the internet, it has to prove that it's pro-democracy. Once you control the internet, you control everything. Okay. Everything. So let me give you an example. Let's say right now you want the Epstein files released. Let's say we identify 10 of the biggest names that are associated with the Epstein files and the Epstein Islands. Okay. Deborah stands up and she says, before the women who are part of this online digital democracy, okay, Deborah stands up and draws a name and she says, we drew the name of X. Okay. This is one of the 10 who is accused of assaulting those women. X is an owner of or a big investor of this powerful company. We're going to put together a women's email campaign and we're going to shut down every email in their corporate offices. We know we can get their email addresses from someone inside. Okay. And we're going to have an online schedule because we're an online women's nation. And Pamela or Susan or Lorraine can go online and they can go online and they can sign up on a schedule. Okay. And they can say, oh, I'm going to send emails for 15 minutes or 30 minutes on this date during business hours. Okay. And now when Pamela does that, there's another 10 women who have signed up for her during that 1 hour window. And so during that 1 hour window, this corporation who is run by this pedophile who can't be brought to trial because the Congress won't act, you've shut down their emails. Now, on the other hand, another group of women is doing the same with their phone lines. Okay. They've gotten phone lines for all the major departments in this corporation. They've created a schedule and everybody's lined up. And then they're making those calls and that corporation is shut down. Now, you would focus on that and you would focus on that particular leader of those, who was associated with Epstein, and you would focus on the corporation. But that's the small game. The big game is the other 9 who you're not targeting because they know that they could be next. And this is a nonviolent way that a large number of women united online can impose their power and influence from the computer, Pamela. And you say it sounds like a good plan. Implement it. The first thing to implement it is what we're doing here. It's getting large numbers of women united. That's the key. We need you guys to look at this. Trust Deborah. Just say, I want to work with Deborah. I like the idea. Maybe I won't like it in a week or two, but right now I'm going to help get a ton of women to come here. We could crush Joe Rogan in a week, Lorraine. You could eliminate it, okay? And it's a matter of getting the women to unite together.
Okay, Joel, I
Yeah,
want to
and
interrupt a little bit.
go ahead, Oscar. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's a comment from Mary. She was just saying that men shut up. That means girl, you should give it a little bit of pause and
Mary, step in, take over the conversation with Deborah. Come in here with her. Tell her what you love about what she's saying. Tell her how much you want to support her and be one of the people who shuts me up. Get in here and get involved. Okay. I mean, this is it. This is your thing, man. Get in here. Grab the bull by the horns. Get
Alright.
get
Okay.
25 women here who want to
Mary,
participate.
Go.
Mary,
So-
Mary, you don't have to come forward. Ashbot, does she want to come forward?
Yeah,
Does
I
she?
actually want to, so V for Violet was making a good point about is Sue understanding what we're talking about, and we have left Deborah's email in the Zoom chat, also the website. So if you have any trouble, you can let us know, and also we would love to hear your thought about what we're doing, or like what do you understand after
Right.
getting all of that.
Yes. And I want to just remind everyone to please don't leave without leaving your email address with Ashfaq and the crew, because that's part of what today is about as well. We need your email addresses in case you weren't involved. We might have them already, but we might not. So leave your email address so that we can stay in touch with you. And I wanted to just bring it back to what Joel was saying. Les Wexner, who owns Victoria's Secrets and a couple of
There you go.
Abercrombie and Fitch, a couple of other businesses. There's a person who absolutely, his name is in the Epstein files and is absolutely guilty of pedophilia. We could easily, if you want to take it that way, after we effect the change and we get the Epstein files released, we could boycott Victoria's Secret. Not that I really want to, but I'm boycotting it because Les Wexner is guilty of pedophilia, guilty of promoting Epstein, guilty of participating in the sex trafficking. And I don't want to see any more sex trafficking. So I would boycott that. That's one of the businesses. But it's like what Joel is saying. We can affect change using the email, even if it's not with politicians and we go after businesses like Target, CVS. That's a way of bringing about change because they're trying to bring down our economic system right now. What Trump is doing is funding the war for Russia. He's not helping the Ukraine. He's alienated every nation in the world. We've lost NATO. Everything that he has done, we could have stopped.
Deborah,
I believe as women, we could have stopped it.
can I
So-
interrupt?
Yes, you may.
So I can see Sue Richardson is she has a hand emoji. That means she wants to say something, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Go for
No.
it, Sue.
No, I was trying to find the chat, but we can just write Deborah with the email.
Yeah. so-
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I think I was pushing all these buttons and I'm,
That's like
You-
me. Yeah, I usually disconnect myself from everything. It's like I think I'm doing the right thing. Yeah.
Sue, do you want to jump in and say anything?
well, no, I was at a class and I saw this on my phone and I just popped in and I think this is the end of the hour that you've been presenting and I'm really excited. I mean, I'm so damn sick of all the crap that they're doing in the administration. We will not be able to survive the next 3 years of all this
I
garbage.
know. I know.
It's impossible.
Everybody's saying, well, wait
Impossible.
till, I don't even think we can make it to the midterms. I know I
No,
can't.
yeah,
I want something done now. That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying,
we have to do
No.
something now. I don't think they're gonna do
Absolutely.
it. The people have to do something and we gotta do something, so.
yep, right. And I think
Deborah,
now
I
is the
wanna-
time. I'm
I
sorry,
want
Joel,
to
go ahead.
throw something out there about the boycott model that I'm describing, okay?
Right.
What happens is if you put a bunch of names in a hat and you announce who those names are, and then you pull one out for the boycott. I went to do some boycotts and I had a whole list of 20 companies in front of me and I just couldn't. I think I picked
Yeah.
Target, or I try and boycott different ones at a time, but my
Right.
point was it was overwhelming. How do you boycott all of these? How do you impact all of this? And what happens is when you put a bunch of names in the hat and you pull one, it allows people to focus, right? They
Right.
have one particular focus that they can crush. You can have
Right.
a really big impact on them. But the other thing that comes from that is not only do you create that effect on that one group or company or whatever it is that you're boycotting, you've listed all these other names. And when they have, 100,000 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 women saying you're next, your one boycott has in essence become a boycott of these 9 other companies. And instead of you having to go after them, they're going to be
Right.
coming to you. You've flipped the dynamics. The women,
Right.
the online democracies are now in power, and they're coming to you and they're saying, what do we need to do so we don't end up on your list? And that's
Right.
the power of women uniting online. You can change those dynamics if you operate strategically and tactically.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Whereas when they put up a list of 20 companies to boycott, you look at it and you say, oh man, I can't boycott all of these places. I don't have that much money. So,
Yeah.
you have to pick one, and we have to stay focused on what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Okay, so let's come up with
our
now
Mhm.
our plan for action on 328, Mary Elizabeth, is to get everyone here to urge people to email Deborah. Hey, Draco, do you have that audio file that people can play at the protests? Did we lose Draco?
No, Draco is here. He's on mute, so I think he's like.
I think they can find it on the site, right? The IOG Nation site. It's right. So if they go to the IOG Nations or my Substack, they can find the audio.
Yes, they can find it on Substack, not on the website.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
That's perfect. Okay. Because I don't know
So
how
we're
much
gonna,
time everybody has. So
yeah, we're gonna roll out an email meeting after this, okay, in just a few minutes. How many people here would like to participate and come be a part of an email campaign that we're going to do? If you would, either just write yes in the comments, you'd like to be invited to our group workout. If you want to be involved, but you don't want to come into our working group, you can.
Okay.
Susan, great.
Susan, yes.
Yes, there you go. Yes. Susan, Pamela,
yes.
Lorraine,
Okay.
Old.
That is pretty amazing. So many people.
Okay.
Today.
Do we have their email addresses, Ashfaq? Can we email them the Zoom link? Does anyone else want to come in and be a part of this email campaign? Karina is back again. Yes, way to go, Karina. Who else wants to jump in on these emails?
My boss said she wants in.
Okay, do we
My
have,
boss.
obviously we've got your email. Okay, we're looking for 5 more. Can we get 5 more people or ladies who want to come in and start sending emails and help Deborah out with this?
Just one thing, Corina, old woman, Pamela, I know I have yours. Lorraine, Suzanne, if you can just drop in your email address.
Susan just sent hers right now.
Yeah, I can just, okay, that is great. So amazing.
Julia, do we have your email? Anyone else? We're going to give this a couple more minutes and then we're going to go break out and start doing some work and help Deborah out.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming today before they leave, because I know how valuable your time is and how difficult it is to take an hour out of your day. So thank you very much for coming, and definitely, if you can't stay for the email workshop, at least get the email out. I will repost my letter or Joel's letter to the attorneys for the survivors, and you'll see everything right there, easy to follow, easy to do, and it's a great first step. And then we're going to meet every Saturday. At some point, we'll do a Zoom meeting to get ideas from everyone as to what issues we should be addressing. But we're going to be sticking with the Epstein files till they release them. So get your brain in gear over other issues that we need to address. And I don't know what time on Saturday yet, because I have not figured that out. Make suggestions as to what the best time would be when you send me an email, okay? And don't hold back. Send anything you want that you want to address. Send messages, send anything that you need to me to discuss on Saturdays. This is a democracy, and I'm just here to try and put it together. So thank you very much for coming today and for being patient. I need patience. This is all new to me too, so I don't have all the answers. I need your help. I need your suggestions. And technologically, I am a neophyte, and I don't know what I'm doing technologically, so bear with me. I don't want to disconnect anyone. I don't want to do anything that that impedes our development. So I rely heavily on Draco, Ashka, and Rakesh, and well, even Joel. So yeah,
Yeah, give Joel's.
I'm not being generous
if
there.
exactly, because if Deborah's a 3 at technology, Joel's a 4.
Well, all right. So thank you
Thank
again.
you so much. So
It's right up, Susan. It's right above you under Sate Badam. Deborah at iodnations.org. Oh, it's supposed to be Deborah at iodnations.com.
Oh,
No,
dot com,
Ashfaq?
not dot org, .com.
no. It's
.org.
.org. Yes.
It's
Are
.org.
you sure?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's Debra, DEBRA at iodnations.org. I already.
That's the email address.
That's Debra's email address. You can also visit our website. It's iodnations.org. Type it in your browser and hit enter, and you'll get all the messages that we have to say compacted in the website. So before we end, Draco, do we have something good to show to our audience?
Yep, we have a new video.
All right.
Okay. Now, as
Good
Draco's
luck
getting that
tomorrow.
video ready,
All right. Well,
as
good luck
Draco's
tomorrow,
getting that,
everybody. Get loud.
go ahead,
Get loud.
Deborah.
No, just saying, get loud tomorrow. Get loud, and if you
Yeah.
can show
And
March.
Make
and
the
tell
most
people
of
to
the
email
meeting.
Deborah.
Yep.
Okay.
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 And have a good night. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it.
Draco, you're going to play something in a minute
Oh.
to sign this thing off. And everybody who's coming into the group, you will receive a Zoom link within about 10 minutes. And that will be to invite you in to work with us on sending our emails. Sue, thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, Sue.
Nice meeting you
And
too.
Kathy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Kathy. Get to work.
You're under pressure, Draco.
Here it comes.
I'm waiting for the right time.
You're good. Go for it. Oh, God. Hi, I'm Joel, founder of iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations.org, modeled after the Sunflower Movement in Taiwan. I am asking you to support Deborah, who is leading the online Suffragette Saturday movement as a part of the No Kings Marches by registering pro-democracy women from across the world to unite online democratically. Here's a message from Deborah that we ask you to consider.
There is no limit. Happy Make Women's History Month. That's what every historic woman would tell us at this largest protest ever. Make history. I'm Deborah, founding leader of Online Women's Democracy and Online Suffragette Saturday. Every woman at this No Kings protest is looking for a way to fight for our rights. I found that way to fight back. Please don't leave this protest without accomplishing something. Women, all of us have to unite together. I won't abuse your email. Please take action. Imagine a bold new future where women are leading the world democracy. It all starts with you sending an email to join the world's women. As Michelle Obama said, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. Please send just one email to Deborah@iodnations.com that says, I support online citizen and women-led democracy. Or go to my Substack address at Assemblywoman Deborah Mazzarelli. That's Mazzarelli, sort of like the cheese. And have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Make democracy offensive, what's the price? Power to the people, not the roll of dice. Unite online, ignite the fight. Blow this shit up, bring the wrong to light. Algorithm scheming got your mind in a cell. Scrolling through the circus while the earth yell.
That was fun.
Okay, guys, if you...
Okay.
Cookie, you can leave an email if you want to join our workout group. We're doing emails to promote online citizen-led democracy for women with Deborah Mazzarelli. So we're going to do that email campaign. We're just closing out the live feed. So if you would like to leave an email, or if you scroll up, there is this, I'll put it down here next to you. There is this email address you can send right now. If you want to email Deborah there, and leave us your email address, Cookie, you can then come into our working group and you can see what we're doing on our email campaign to promote online citizen-led democracy, or leave your email in the message here. I'm going to count down from 10 and we're going to close the show. 10,
Hey,
9.
we have another guest, Lori,
Where?
in our Zoom.
Okay, well, Lori, if you want to come in really quick, let's talk. I'll talk to you for just a moment.
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear us? All right, I am not sure if she can hear us, but let's continue counting, I guess.
Okay. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back and see us on our next live feed on Monday. We look forward to hearing from you. You guys take care, and everybody who's going to be in the email working group, we'll see you in about 10 to 15 minutes. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.